Hello everyone, welcome to the next video. In this video, we are going to learn about how to create schema and how to create model around that schema. In last video, we have seen how to create Atlas account and how to connect the Node.js application to the MongoDB. Now go to our server project and here you have to create a new file. The new file name is student.js. Okay, this defines the schema and the model. So model is nothing but blueprint for the Node.js. In other way, we can say it's a class in Java. I have changed my VS Code theme. To create schema, we need to import Mongoose. Inside the Mongoose, we have schema module. For that, const space mongoose equal to require mongoose. Okay, we have to import the mongoose module or middleware. Then we have to create a schema. For creating a schema, we have to use const the schema name. Here the schema name is student. Then equal to, we have to use new keyword mongoose dot schema. Mongoose dot schema. See here schema automatically. Then we have to define set of properties to store in a document. First one is student underscore name, that is in the type string. Next, student department, that is also in the data type string. Next, email ID of the student, that is also string. Then we have another field marks, marks in number type. So we can define simply what are the field name and the data types. We can define the properties of the documents and the corresponding type. Okay, so or else we can define some validations, some default values, some intermediate operations in that. How to define the schema with validations and some default values. So let's go to browse Mongoose schema types. So we can find in the Mongoose documentation what is schema type. You can think of Mongoose schema as a configuration object for a Mongoose model. Okay, then some of the valid schema types are string, number, buffer, date, boolean, object type, array, map. Likewise, we have some data types. How to define schema? Already we have seen before. Const schema name equal to new schema or mongoose dot schema. We can use it. Okay. Then, so what are the types they are created? We can create nested documents and also array type. Okay. In type, we can have like this. So we have defined student underscore name equal to string. We can also define like this. See here, name we can define in the JSON format. Okay, we can create a property field value like this. See here, nested we can have nested field also. Here, nested is a root field. Then in that we have first name and last name. First name is a type of string and last name also in the type string. Next, schema type. So we can require default value. We can define. We can validate. We can use select. We can use required to tell that field is required while inserting into database. We can use default values for the particular field. We can use validate function during the insert and retrieving the data. If we go validation, how to validate? So required equal to true. So if we specify required equal to true, we should pass the values while storing it into database. See here x. So type is number, minimum value is 6. If if you are not getting the value 6, whenever we are storing into database, we can pass the error message. Okay. So likewise, we can define our schema with validation and some default values. Now we are going to define our schema with some validations. Okay. For that, we have to use curly bracket. Inside that, we have to define the type of the field or property. Then we have to provide the validations. So here I am going to use the validation is required. Okay, required colon true. Okay, we can specify. We can simply specify required equal to true, or else we can specify the required value in the array format. First argument is true. It tells that the field is required. We have to pass the value while storing it in the database. And second argument is validation error message. The name is required field. Okay. Next, the trim field is used to trim the tail and trail end white spaces. Next, we have the department. We are going to define proper validations for the department. Here, the type is same string and it is also a required field required field and here we are going to pass the first argument as true, then the validation string is or error message string is department is missing. Okay, next we are defining trim true. Next, for email id, let's wait. I'm going to change some setting in VS Code so that we can clearly see the color scheme for our code. So now we are getting some color combinations. We can identify the field name and corresponding properties so that we can have good clarity of our code. Here email ID, in email ID type is string. Then we have, it is also a required field. Second argument we are passing as enter email ID. Now the validation for the marks is type as number. It is also a required field. Marks should not be empty. Here we are going to use some other validations for the marks. Its type is number, so we are going to fix minimum value. So minimum value is 50. If it goes below 50 mark, it should display error message, low marks. Okay, this is our error message string. Likewise, we can define and see here. So in email ID, there is an error because the comma is missing in the JSON format, and in student department, in student also, the comma is missing, so that we have that error. Now see here, if we miss the bracket, square bracket there, it's showing error here also. So likewise, we can rectify these mistakes. Now we have defined the schema for our project. Now we are going to create a model around that. For that, we have to create a model by using const model name equal to student equal to mongoose dot model. The model is a method that should be in the lowercase, but in the case of schema, it should be in the uppercase. Model, we have two parameters here. First parameter is the collection name, which is going to be created in the database. So we are specified student in singular form, but it will find whenever we are retrieving the database, it will find the student in the plural form. Mongoose will search for the students collection in the database. The second argument is a schema name. The schema name we have defined is student. See here, student. So this is showing error, right? Because we have defined schema name and model name as same. So we are going to change the schema name as student schema. Now the error is rectified. Now we have to pass the second argument as student schema, which is created just above this code. This model find the students collection in the database. Now we are going to export this model so that we can use it in the other files. For exporting, we have to use module.exports equal to the model name. Model name is student. Okay, this is how we can create the model. Now I'm going to give some process during the collection of email ID, that is to change the email ID to lowercase. During the input, the user can type in any format, uppercase or lowercase. Our application will change it to lowercase. For that, lowercase is set to true, so that whatever the user is entering in the email ID, the text will be converted to lowercase. So now just go to the command prompt. We don't have any error. Project is running. In this video, we have learnt about how to create schema and model. And also we had mistakes and we have rectified that. We have to learn from our mistakes. In the next video, we will learn about how to create and read from the MongoDB. Thank you everyone.